Trevor Noah just exposed Elon Musk. It's gonna get personal. Let's unpack this.
People will abandon what they say is a principle when things aren't going their way, you know? So one of the first things Elon said when he took over was like, comedy is now legal on Twitter. And he was like, it's time for free speech, time for comedy, time for people to actually have fun on Twitter again. And then what people started doing was they started changing their names to Elon Musk, right? So people changed their Twitter handles to Elon Musk. Then they just started tweeting things as if they were Elon Musk. They were like, I'm such a terrible person, my wife left me. Just random shit, right? And then Twitter just banned all of their accounts. They're like, suspended. And then he was like, no parodying of people on the, he's like, unless you say it's a parody, it's like, what? So it's not funny now?
Remember when Trevor Noah casually pulled off the most savage truth bomb of the year and somehow managed to roast both Elon Musk and Donald Trump in a single monologue? Yeah, that wasn't just comedy. That was a full-blown intellectual arson. Picture this, a billionaire cosplayer CEO and an orange-tinted ex-president both begging to be taken seriously, while Trevor grabs a mic and proceeds to obliterate them with the precision of a stand-up assassin. Let's break it down. Elon Musk waltzes into Twitter like he's the guardian of free speech, shouts comedy is legal again, and within days he's banning anyone who makes a joke about Elon Musk, literal comedy warlord energy. The guy said it was time to laugh again, but forgot to mention that the punchline could never be him. But now get ready for one of the most iconic roasts of Donald Trump and Elon Musk ever. It's gonna get insane.
A shift after that where Elon went from being the guy who's like, I don't get involved in politics, and I just think that it's good for us to look at both sides and try to find ourselves in a space where we're not exactly looking at like what has happened. And he was that guy.
Yeah.
Biden doesn't invite him to the White House. This man went full
boom. There it is. Elon used to be Mr. I just build rockets and mumble philosophy. Now, one missed White House invite and he's doing the political equivalent of flipping tables and rage tweeting in Morse code. Trevor didn't just throw shade, he launched it like a SpaceX rocket. And Trump, oh, don't worry, his turn is coming. Stick around, because what happens next will have Trump wishing for another Twitter ban.
Donald Trump has exposed a part of America that I'm willing to bet nobody knew existed. Nobody. Like, did you know about a special master? Any of you? Huh? I didn't even know there was an option. I've watched 10 million hours of Law and Order.
Only Trump could turn an FBI investigation into a Netflix spin-off called Law and Order Special Masters Unit. Seriously, he didn't just break the law, he unlocked hidden legal DLC that even the nerds on Reddit didn't know existed. Trevor Noah basically became America's legal translator here, and let's be honest, if you've watched that much Law and Order and still didn't know this was a thing, yeah, Trump just broke the Matrix. But let's rewind a second and get back to the meme king of Mars himself, Elon Musk. Where do we even start with this guy? Elon's whole brand is like if Iron Man was played by your cousin who took one coding class and now won't shut up at Thanksgiving. He's not just a billionaire, he's the Elon Ment of chaos. His Twitter feed looks like it was curated by a teenager and a midlife crisis at the same time. Memes everywhere. Coherence, rare. Dignity, lost somewhere between Dogecoin and comedy is legal again.
You know, because Trump seemed, people forget this now, but I remember when Donald Trump was running for president, he had no ally, right? So
it was
Trump,
Steve Bannon. That was it, right?
But Trump was the antithesis of the Republican Party as they saw themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I remember, you know, whether it was the people running the RNC or whether it was people who were running against him, they were like, oh, no, this guy is a pariah. He's a joke. He does not represent our values. So the establishment Republican Party was not for Donald Trump. The media was not for Donald Trump, right? Fox News was also like, meh, who's this guy in that way?
And then there's Trump, once the punchline of the GOP, now somehow it's patron saint of chaos. Trevor laid it out perfectly. Trump was the weird uncle nobody wanted to invite to the party, until he showed up anyway, took over the mic, and somehow got everyone chanting his name. The Republican establishment thought Trump was a joke. Turns out, the joke's on them. Back to Elon though, because Trevor wasn't done roasting him like a malfunctioning Tesla battery. The man who promised promised us Mars, clean energy, and tunnel cities, spends his days rage posting and laying off employees via emoji. He's out here pretending to save humanity while acting like a Bond villain who just discovered meme culture. It's all innovation until someone asks Elon to actually help real people. Suddenly, it's radio silence. Or worse, another tweet that sounds like ChatGPT on a sugar high. Musk wants to be remembered as a world-changing visionary, but right now, he's looking more like that guy who keeps promising to Venmo you and somehow still owes you gas money. And trust us, the roast is just getting started.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna put it out there. If he's handling Twitter like this, I don't know how comfortable I would be going with this dude to Mars, you know? Yeah, I don't want Elon walking into my cabin one day like, hey guys, turns out I accidentally fired the team that was bringing the oxygen, but we'll be fine if we just stop breathing for 69 months.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why no one, and I mean no one, should trust Elon Musk with the survival of humanity on another planet. Trevor nailed it. If this guy can't even keep Twitter functioning without accidentally firing the janitor and the CEO, what's he gonna do on Mars? Imagine waking up in your oxygen pod and Elon's like, oops, I deleted the life support team, but it's okay, we've got memes. That's not a sci-fi movie. That's a nightmare in a SpaceX hoodie. Just when you think maybe, just maybe, Elon will finally stay quiet and build something useful, he throws another grenade into his own PR department. He keeps promising to change the world, but every time he opens the app, it feels more like he's live streaming a midlife crisis. Trevor called it exactly right. Elon's idea of progress is shouting about Mars while Earth burns and Twitter turns into a troll farm. Remember when he bought Twitter thinking he'd be some tech messiah? Yeah, instead he turned it into a dumpster fire in 4K, where harassment spreads faster than Wi-Fi and facts have to fight for oxygen harder than his Mars colony.
Killed it. I think Biden was trying to, and this is the account that the Biden people have given in explanation to sort of defend themselves from the argument that you're making, which is, there are definitely a lot of people who agree with you, which is like, listen, this was about Detroit and everything.
I don't believe that.
But yeah,
I'll be honest with you, I don't believe it. I think Biden's people were going, we're going to put you in your place, and we're going to show you that this industry is going to move on without you. And so we're going to bring all these people in to go like, we got this. And then Elon Musk, if there's one thing I've seen from Elon Musk and what I've heard about, let me tell you something. That man does not take...
Translation, Elon doesn't just hold grudges. He catalogs them, laminates them, and frames them on the wall. Trevor basically said what we were all thinking. Musk treats every minor diss like it's the betrayal of the century. Biden didn't invite him to a factory tour, and Elon acts like he got uninvited from prom by NASA. It's space soap opera, billionaire edition. But okay, enough about Mars, man. It's time to blast off into the other side of this tragic sitcom, Donald J. Trump. The man, the myth, the Cheeto-in-chief. If turning your own presidency into a late-night sketch show were an Olympic sport, Trump's already taken gold, silver, and the stadium concession stand. From day one, this man turned the US government into his personal circus. And Trevor Noah? Oh, he didn't miss a beat. He carved Trump's political record with surgical precision and the kind of finesse that makes Fox News real nervous. And guess what? We're not even close to the most humiliating part yet.
In the United States of America, if you want to win an election, all you need to have is a strange voice. Simple as that. You want to be president of the United States? Get a strange voice, you're done. Yeah, forget policies, forget ideas, that's boring. You come out there with a strange voice, the people love it. You realize there's been no American president who has a normal speaking voice, none. Trump, that was the weirdest of all. Every other American president is predictable. You understood the ebb and flow.
And honestly, he's not wrong. America doesn't vote for competence. We vote for the weirdest voice in the room. Forget policies, forget experience. Apparently, all you need is to sound like you're gargling gravel while shouting through a wind tunnel. George W. had the cowboy twang. Obama had that cool professor smoothness. And Trump sounded like someone dared a cartoon character to give a TED talk. But see, that's the thing. Trump didn't get famous for being smart. He got famous for being loud. Trump. Trump is a man who's made a career out of self-promotion. His genius strategy, create a reality TV persona, run for president, and just lie your way through everything. It's remarkable, really, that someone with the IQ of a brick somehow managed to convince a nation he was fit to lead. But that's the genius of Trump, isn't it? He's the type of guy who fails upward, like that one person in every office, who somehow keeps getting promoted even though they can barely keep a stapler from falling off their desk. And of course, Trevor Noah was quick to point out Trump's legacy, it's less about policy and more about the spectacle. He's the political equivalent of a used car salesman, except his inventory includes lies, corruption, and a whole lot of bad decisions. Trump turned self-delusion into a campaign platform. He basically said, "Watch me sell America the worst deal in history," and people were like, wow, a straight shooter. Trevor Noah got it exactly right. The man's entire legacy is less presidential and more parking lot dealership energy. You're not getting a visionary. You're getting a shady salesman offering 4 more years with no refund policy.
That's what changed for me. Is I then when Donald Trump was elected and then proceeded to do the things that he had promised, ironically, right? Because I mean, that's funny that like Donald Trump would be the first presidential candidate to actually deliver. Hate him or love him, he's doing the things that he said he.
And that's the scary part. The one time a politician actually follows through on promises, it had to be Trump. He said he'd bring chaos, and he did. He promised division, and he delivered like Amazon Prime. Trump's first year in office felt like watching a toddler drive a bulldozer. You want to look away, but you just know something insane is about to happen. It was less commander-in-chief and more reality show host accidentally finds the nuclear codes. Every day was another episode of What Will He Ruin Next? And yep, we're still in reruns.
America's president. Oh, he was even cockier. Yeah. You see him when he came out, Donald J. Trump? Oh, he had all the swag. He was like, folks, we're gonna have it handled in 21 days.
Ah yes, the 21-day miracle. Trump basically told America he was going to defeat a global pandemic faster than Amazon delivers toilet paper. He marched out like a game show host introducing the cure is right and somehow expected everyone to believe him again. Trevor didn't just call it out, he annihilated it. Because let's be real, every time Trump spoke, it wasn't reassurance. It was a national anxiety trigger in human form. His presidency wasn't a term, it was a 4-year fever dream, a non-stop parade of scandals, walkouts, and decisions so confusing they made covfefe sound like policy. And just when you thought this walking contradiction might ride off into the Mar-a-Lago sunset, nope, Trump went full conspiracy mode, diving headfirst into election lies like a toddler cannonballing into a pool of Kool-Aid. He didn't just lose, he detonated on the way out. Because if Trump has one talent, it's turning any L into a firestorm of delusion and destruction. And speaking of chaos, let's talk about his monuments to success. Trump Tower and Mar-a-Lago. These weren't just overpriced buildings, they were props in a very expensive illusion. The Trump brand isn't real estate, it's real fake.
Favorite moments randomly in hosting the show was I saw a what was it? What do they call them? Do they call them a truth social? That like fake Twitter that no one, even the right wingers aren't on really? A truth, right? I don't know what it is. Anyway, a what? No, it's like it's called Truth Social, I think. No one cares. Anyway, the point is Trump sent out one of his thingies. I don't know what they called, and it was like Trevor Noah was never funny. Jon Stewart was only slightly better. And then like he goes on like a rant and he's just like, these people don't realize if they moved more to the center like me, they would have more followers. Then I'm like, center like you?
This man really said he's the center. Trump calling himself a centrist is like Bigfoot declaring he's a vegan. Bold claim, zero evidence. And Trevor, he handled it flawlessly. Truth Social, aka Twitter for boomers who got banned too many times, is basically Trump's personal diary, typed in all caps and rage. He's out here ranting about comedy and followers, like he's trying to win a middle school popularity contest. The guy lost the White House, and instead of reflecting, he's fighting Trevor Noah in the comments section of a ghost town app. Because in Trump world, the only thing more important than truth is his name on a building. And Trevor, he didn't just expose the con, he burned the whole illusion to the ground.
I feel like Trump would be exactly the same even if he spoke Arabic. It would be like the same thing. He'd be like,
Let's be real, Trevor's not exaggerating. You could put Trump in any country, speaking any language, and he'd still be saying the same three things. I'm great, I'm innocent, and look how many people clapped. His ego's not bound by borders, it's globalized narcissism. Because to Trump, winning isn't about achieving something meaningful, it's about pretending he did and then yelling it louder than anyone else. The guy doesn't need truth, just a microphone and a mirror. He's not leading, he's LARPing as a leader, cosplaying as someone who actually knows what they're doing. And Trevor, he didn't just call him out, he dismantled the whole act. Trump's obsession with looking presidential isn't about serving people, it's about getting fist bumps from dictators and validation from villains. Forget allies based on democracy and mutual respect. Trump wanted to be BFFs with Putin and Kim Jong-un like it was the Real Housewives of totalitarianism.
What was even crazier was that some people voted for him and then were disappointed by who he was. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. People were there like, I can't believe what he's doing right now. I just can't believe what he's doing. I'm sorry, you can't believe what's happening? Donald Trump, can you believe this? Can I believe that he's doing the exact same thing he's been doing for his whole life? Yeah, I can't believe this. There's a shock. You're shocked? Donald Trump is the least shocking human being I've ever come across in my life. He is consistently being himself. The man is a cliched villain, looks like a villain, talks like a villain. Like he looks like he should be in a Scooby-Doo episode. With that face, with that vibe, you could see him in the lineup when they're trying to solve the crime. Who do you think it is, Scoob? Be like, oh, it wasn't me, I'll tell you that much. He's like, I didn't do anything, I'm innocent. Be like, I'm innocent, so innocent. Some say the most innocent man is ever.
That sketch? Absolute gold. Trump is literally a Scooby-Doo villain, down to the cartoon logic and zero accountability. He's the guy in the creepy mask yelling, I'm innocent, some say the most innocent ever, while standing next to a box labeled crime evidence. Trevor's genius isn't just the impressions, it's how eerily spot on they are. Because Trump being Trump isn't shocking, it's the one consistent thing about him. What's wild is that people are still shocked. Like, what did you expect? A plot twist where he turns into Abraham Lincoln? But Trevor didn't stop at the comedy. He hit the policy too, and this part should make every working American furious. Trump's foreign policy? One giant ego trip. His economic legacy? Tariffs that tanked the economy harder than a rug pull in crypto. And now, with that new 10% baseline tariff rolling out in April 2025, the global market's reacting like Trump just hit reply all on a trade war. Prices are surging, supply chains are stalling, and your grocery bill? Yeah, Trump just made it political. This isn't America first. It's Trump's feelings first, and everyone else is stuck footing the bill.
I knew what to expect. The volume on his voice all over the place, inflection where it didn't make sense. Do you know how hard it was to figure out where to put the volume on your TV when watching a speech? I had to sit there and write it like a shitty DJ the whole time as you speak, because you wouldn't know where it would happen. He'd be up there. I think as Americans, we try and try, so try, big try, all trying.
Trump's speeches weren't just confusing, they were a full-body audio assault. Listening to him was like tuning into a malfunctioning podcast where the host keeps yelling random adjectives and pretending it's leadership. Trevor's impression? Dead on. Watching a Trump rally wasn't informative. It was like being stuck in a karaoke bar during an earthquake. The man couldn't finish a sentence, but somehow expected you to cheer like he solved world peace. What's even wilder is how both Trump and Elon Musk managed to build cult-like fan bases. People who would defend them if they walked into traffic and blame the pavement. Trevor didn't hold back. He exposed the real punchline here. It's not just that these two are incompetent. It's that millions of people pretend they're brilliant while they publicly crash and burn in 4K. Elon tweeting through his downfall like a Reddit mod with delusions of grandeur. Trump shouting half words and convincing people it's policy. And somehow, they're seen as visionaries? It's like the country accidentally switched from democracy to a bad reality show and nobody told the producers to pull the plug. The twist, there's no script, just two billionaires winging it while the rest of us are stuck paying for snacks. Trevor Noah didn't just clown on Musk and Trump. He exposed the system that keeps letting this circus go on. And trust us, the next act, it's already off the rails. Click here to see what Trump's team just did next. It's beyond embarrassing.